It's a pleasure to have you here. The details now. Vice President Dr. Mahmood Bawumia has arrived in the Upper East region for a two-day tour. While there, he will visit some flood-affected areas and donate relief items to victims. The Vice President is also expected to pay courtesy calls on some chiefs and inspect ongoing projects. Correspondent Albert Sorry joins us with some details. Hello, Albert. Kindly furnish us with the details. Where has the Vice President visited so far? That's if he started the tour. Albert, if you can hear me, I'd like you to furnish us with details of where the Vice President is currently.
Yes, Bennett. So we are currently heading Kobori in the West District, where the road was flooded and the area has cut off. Remember, the last few days we brought the news of people back who had been stranded on that portion of the road because the state, together with NADMO, had blocked the road and were preventing people from crossing. So that is where we are headed now. Vice President is going to check what's happening in that area. Later expected to go to the Navongo area. He will also be donating some relief items with victims of the flood at Bromo.
Okay.
Here in the Bolgatanga municipality, from where yesterday we brought the interviews of those stranded flood victims who were living in the uncontested. That's where he will be donating.
Albert, I get a sense that you're on the road. When we spoke,
we are in a moving vehicle.
Okay, when we spoke yesterday and the day before, there were flooded roads, some of which were unmotorable. What's the condition of the road you're on now?
Yes, so we are on the Boku road, which is portions of it, are very bad. But this morning we are getting reports that the Kwalugu area in the Kalisi district, the main Bolgatanga Samadigo, portions of it are now also flooded. And the situation there because it appears the water, the flood process is over the last night because there were more days. The Bagre Dam village has also continued for some time. So those areas are also flooded. So we hear from the Vice President what the plans are from government side as what they are going to help.
Hello, Albert, can you hear me? It appears we are losing you.
Yes, I can hear you, Ben.
Okay, all right. So briefly tell us, those who have been displaced by the floods in the Upper East region, where have they been housed now?
Ben, I didn't hear the last part of the
I'm asking displaced persons. Where are they now?
Well, some of them are seeking shelter in classrooms. Others have had to move in with relatives who can accommodate them. 2 days ago, the Ghana Red Cross Society also handed over some completed buildings that they had put up for victims of last year's flood. So those people are living in those new homes that were built for them by the Ghana Red Cross Society. So this is the situation.
We were told to expect more rains. Finally, Albert, have the rains subside and do we have the floods receding as well?
Yes, the rain has stopped. We are beginning to see some sunshine as we speak. But the flood waters are still quite high. Yes, so that is the situation. It probably will take some time before the waters.
It appears we've lost Albert there. As he mentioned, he's in a moving vehicle touring some parts of the Upper East region with Vice President Dr. Mahmood Bawumia. And so when we touch base with him, hopefully in this bulletin or in subsequent bulletins, we'll be telling you where the Vice President may have visited us at the time and the people he's met. Meanwhile, the Northeast Regional Minister visited affected communities in his region on Wednesday. It came to light that relief items are yet to reach many of the victims. Some of them say they've lost all their farm produce and are highly expectant of help. They spoke to JoyNews.
Oh, the food. Nobody even get anything. But it was this month, the end of this month, I have like the meals will be ready for them to have their bag. So even if you go around here, take the plane carefully, you see the water. But the people go there, you know. That one day we were going to take planting first, so they were going to see whether they can try and get some nutrition. So they were in the middle of the water and the ship just then. So they couldn't survive.
So
I don't think so.
nobody.
No.
So you said
Yes.
how much of that farm is destroyed by water, or all?
There are acres or
Mhm.
it's about 7 or 8 acres, 7.5. All is destroyed.
Is a maize or rice?
Yes, miss.
So what will you do now? How will you leave?
Now, only God knows because now it's running them. And they made like we have some maize farms around the community. That one to the rain is falling down. The rain is falling every day. That one to is falling now. It's not really. The water is river on side, but the houses from the one that near the farm, the rain to spoil down. For managing, like some of us will run to South do some small job.
Can you speak aloud?
When the dry season comes, some of us will run to South and do some small job.
I heard some because of the water.
Yes, no anything to do again, no food, no anything.
So they have to travel.
They have to travel to South.
And you,
Many rooms has been full about uncountable. It's now uncountable because just today now, one store has just fallen at that place by the road. I don't know. Many.
so where are the people?
Well, they have to find some of their relatives and then go to them and then they'll,
Are some people sleeping with you in your house?
yeah. 5 friends sleeping with me because of that.
Friends
5 friends.
sleeping with you.
Yes.
So NADMO is here and the regional minister is here. What do you need now?
Well, if they can get us food and our first thing should be food. Then our second one should be when they get us something like cement for us to build in the dry season time, so that when it is the rainy season comes like this, we shouldn't be having any challenge again. Yeah, the rain has, or let me say, the flood has just destroyed everything, and there's nothing that we can do again. Yeah, our plan is, or let me say, our focus is just for us to run and go to South after we just harvest our crops. Yeah. And now the rain is also trying to destroy all that. So we are just hoping on you people to see if you have any help for us. Yeah.
You heard there some victims of the floods in the northern part of the country. Well, the regional minister for the Northeast region, Solomon Boa, while distributing relief items to victims, urged them to stay away from flooded areas to prevent further deaths.
We see that the passenger has been cut off completely from the rest of the Mampuku. The passenger is part of the West Mamprusi municipality. So that's the next community from here. So it means that nobody can access any social services from the West Mamprusi municipality coming from the Mampuku Maburi unless the upper East region. So this is the more reason why we keep talking about the portable multipurpose dam, that people should embrace and pray that this construction sees the light of the day to solve this problem once and for all. I can tell you that at the end of the day, when this water is gone, the devastation, the facilities that are going to be destroyed, especially water points, food stuff, is something that you cannot get described. So I want to call on Ghanaians to say a very big thank you to His Excellency the President, especially with those around the Northeast region. There is no politics about it. What we are saying is something that we are all feeling it here. I am very sure that everybody here is just praying that we finish this engagement and leave here within the next 5 minutes. Because everybody is scared about the water. Because we are in the middle of the water. But that is service to Mother Ghana. We are here to let the whole country know that the place is really, the situation is a very terrible one. And I'm sure that our people will listen to the information that is coming from the meteorological department, that we should not take anything for granted going forward, because more rains are yet to come. So if more rains are yet to come, even those who are capable enough and they are these canoe people, please, they should listen to the advice and stay away from the water for some time now. We are just from a funeral house where we are counting the losses of 2 of our brothers who lost their lives because they had to come and take the risk of harvesting their maize. They were good as I believe that they were as good as these people who are also paddling their canoes. We want to encourage everybody that we should stay away from this situation for now, so that when everything goes down, then life can return to normal. This is a force majeure. This is something that is beyond human understanding. And once it's beyond human understanding, nobody has an antidote to it, apart from the fact that we have to ensure that the multi-purpose dam construction sees the light of day. This is what I want to leave with every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the Northeast region, and for that matter, the Maputo Maduri estate. So I want to thank you once again for being part of this trip.
Northeast correspondent Ilyasu Tanko was on tour with the minister you just heard, and he joins us with more. Ilyasu, what's NADMO's plan now in providing the needed help? Hello, Ilyasu. If you can hear me, can you share with us? Yes, we can. Can you share with us NADMO's plan in providing the needed help for these victims in affected communities?
Bernice, we still don't have the full plan of NADMO. What we know is that they were able to organize some relief items to the Mampurgo-Moadori district, which we understand is hard hit by this situation. And for other victims, especially in Cherpone, Bunkurugu, and also in the West Mampresi municipality, we still don't know what NADMO is doing, because we did not get that briefing from officials who visited the Mampurgo-Moadori district. So we know that they visited the area and gave relief items to these people, but for the full plan, how they are going to attend to other victims in other districts, we don't have the details for now.
We just spoke to Albert Sori a while ago, and he was sharing with us the situation in the Upper East region. We are told that the rains have ceased for now. Is that a similar situation in the Northeast region?
Exactly. For the first time in 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, I'm seeing the sun for the first time now. The rain has stopped since morning. We have not had rain, and the situation is stabilized. But in parts of the district, especially in Cherpane, we still understand that the other part, especially the White Water River, more water is still coming in those areas. But as we speak today, we don't have rains in the region.
Well, thank you very much. That's our Northeast correspondent, Ilyasu Tanko, there furnishing us with details of the situation. What we know now is that 10 persons have lost their lives in the Northeast and Upper East regions. Well, let's stay on the floods for some time, but to the northern region now. 2 people escaped drowning Wednesday afternoon at Taha in the Sanaruga district. The 2, a tipper truck driver and his conductor, was swept off on the Taha Bridge by flooding waters. This follows several hours of rain throughout the day. According to an eyewitness, the tipper truck driver was faced with the decision to either drive to the edge of the bridge or be carried away by the floods, or crash into a taxi which was heading towards Taha.
Yeah, the tipper truck went to Balai to pour sisal. And when the tipper truck poured the sisal and was coming, the water was overflowed and at the place. So the tipper truck was managing to pass at the left side, and accidentally one of the leg fall inside the bridge and it fell.
How many people were inside there?
Four people.
So how did they come out?
So, people swim inside the water and rescue them.
Okay. So how long did it take for them to remove the vehicle from the water?
The vehicle from the water. First, a hayok came, and the tipper truck was heavier than the hayok, so the hayok went back. So it's just now that they brought fire service people to remove it.
Well, another resident, Abdul Wahab Mohammed, attributed the continuous accidents on the bridge to the partial collapse, narrowing the driveway.
Get it easy. We didn't get it easy because the road is not good at all. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. So the problem is, because they have to work on it. But always they are just putting it on campaign that they will do it. It's always, they are just doing it on their map, but they are not proving for the work. Yes. So this time we are begging them. This thing is not one hand. They have to contribute their hands together and they work on it. So we are begging them, they should try. If it's not like that, it will take a lot of life. Yes. So like right now, many people's life are in danger because if the rain fall in evening, how to pass here, it won't be easy. So we are begging them, they should try. They should try. They should leave campaign. They should leave politics.
Well, my colleague in the northern region, Martina Bugri, joins us via phone for some updates on the flooding situation. Hello, Martina. We understand that the Bolgatanga Tamale Road has been cut off.
That I am not aware. What I know of is the Taha Bridge that is partially collapsed, and that's the sound you've been hearing from the people. This bridge is always flooded anytime there is a heavy downpour. And yesterday, from the morning till evening, the rains kept coming throughout the day, and so the place got flooded. Now, a vehicle was coming from Taha, while the other one was coming from town. The other one coming from town was a taxi, which had about 6 passengers, we are told. And so the tipper truck had an option either to veer into the edge of the bridge, which is partially collapsed, and be swept off, or to enter into the 6 people who were in the taxi. And he took the form, and that's how come he plunged into the deep drain.
Martina, have the rain subsided or the waters receded?
Yes, it's receded, but we are also expecting some rains again. The clouds are gathered, the place is dark, and we are sure it will continue today. And if it continues, it means that it will keep chopping off, and probably with time it's going to cut off.
Let me just ask this quickly before you leave. Have we had a response from any of the local authorities on why this bridge remains in this condition?
The last time there was another incident, a Zoom Lion truck fell into the water around that same place. We were told that a contractor is on the road, and so that bridge will be fixed. It's about 3 months now, and nothing has happened, and this one has happened again.
Thank you very much. Martina Bugri is our Northern Region correspondent, and we've been bringing you updates on the flooding situation in the northern part of the country. Earlier, we heard from Albert Sori, who joined us from the Upper East Region. The Vice President is there donating some items to flood victims and also visiting them. And we brought to you also an update from the Northeast Region from Ilyas Tanko. We've got our eyes fixed on this flooding situation because we know that it's not peculiar to Ghana. In Niger and Sudan, for example, they are recording the worst ever floods in their country's history. So we'll keep our eyes there while getting answers from authorities so that lives and property are protected. Away from the floods, Member of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, Ras Mubarak, is alleging state-owned Exim Bank has paid musician Shatawale 2 million Ghana cedis to work as a brand ambassador. an amount he says the artist does not deserve. At Wednesday's sitting of the committee, Mr. Mubarak claimed a check had been issued to the musician to that effect. But CEO of the bank, Kwame Dudakwa, said he's unaware of such a payment, explaining the bank has only engaged communications consultancy firm to brand it, and it is the firm that is dealing with brand ambassadors. I'm sure you want to hear more of that story. We'll bring you details shortly after this. Thank you so much for staying here on News Desk. We'll bring you more on that story from the PAC sitting with regards to Shatawale being paid some 2 million Ghana cedis allegedly by Exim Bank. But before that, at least 200,000 senior high school students in Ghana considered taking their own lives in the past 12 months. This staggering statistic came to light this morning on the AM show as we focus on World Suicide Prevention Day. There's more to learn about suicide and the damage it's doing to our society. But first, what would drive a person to attempt to end it all? Here's Karine Da Silveira, who attempted suicide in the past.
It started in 2009. That was somewhere in after I had completed senior secondary school.
Okay.
So that process was a thought because I wasn't comfortable in my skin. Then it went on to me being sexually abused by someone I trusted as a friend, who I knew, and who dragged me. And I saw the person coming on to me, but I was too weak to fight it off. Now, after that experience, when I got home, I was like in the shower for almost 2 hours. Nobody could find, like nobody knew. My brother was around, my mom was around, my dad was around, but they didn't know what was happening. So I was like, I'm gonna end it. I'm done. Like there's nothing. And funny enough, the next day I have work. And the next day I went to work like nothing happened. And when I got to work, I broke down. I couldn't do anything. So I had to go to my HR and go like, see, boss, this is what has happened. I can't do this right now. I can't concentrate. I need time off and I can't be here. So all through, he said, okay, he understood, and I left. But I don't think they understand, because at the end of the day, they needed me at work at a particular period in time. Say you said this, and they'll give you like 3 days, go and think about it.
But did you tell him exactly what he had gone through?
Yeah, I actually said it.
Why were you comfortable telling him, but you didn't tell family?
No, the thing was, at that point, when it happened, and I'm like, I'm the type who is not, who can bounce back from anything.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, okay, now I can bounce back and later go through the process of the pain and go through whatever went through.
So are you the independent kind?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Because I can relate.
I am. So I thought I could just bounce back and be okay. So then I got to work. So in the car going to work, I felt like it was coming. The darkness was just clouded. So in the car, something said, jump out of the car. You get it? The voice said, jump out. This is the end. Just finish up with it. But then I was able to get to work. When I got to work, before I even got down from the car, I'm like, Karen, you can do this. Let's go. So I got to work, and I was there, and I'm like, no, I can't. So luckily, the HR I spoke to was a female. So, and I had known her for years because I've been working there for a period of time. So I called her, and I told her, I can't do this. And she kept asking me, what is wrong? And it took time for me to even break what had happened to her, because she didn't get it. So I finally confided in her. I said, this was what had happened. I need to leave ASAP. And on my way home, it was still like that. I'm like, okay. So at a point, I got down at the car at the beach area.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so this is it. What are we going to do? Do you jump? Do you do this? Then another silent voice came in.
I'm sure you want to hear more of that survivor story. Get onto our YouTube page. The full interview she had with Mama Viowusu Abuaje is there. But Karine is not the only one in this situation. Unfortunately, many other Ghanaians have come to the brink of suicide for various reasons. Let's take a look at some statistics we gathered from the Ghana Psychologists Association. Ten adults in rural communities think about taking their own lives. Nearly 3 in 10 junior high school students in Ghana report attempting suicide in the past 12 months. 2 out of 10 senior high school students report attempting suicide during the past 12 months. Among school-going deaf adolescents, 1 in 10 students report attempting suicide in the past 12 months across second cycle schools. About 2 in 10 students report intentional self-injury or self-poisoning in their lifetime. 2 out of 5 adolescents who identify as LGBT engage in self-poisoning or self-injurious behaviors. And nearly 3 in 10 police officers in urban Ghana report having had thoughts about taking their own lives during the previous 12 months. And this particular one, ongoing research indicates that some displaced staff and survivors of the recent banking sector cleanup have contemplated and attempted suicide. Well, we'll bring you some analysis on this, and we've been joined by Mr. Richmond Aqua Coleman. He is an executive member of the Ghana Psychologists Association. Thank you very much for your time this morning, sir. So those statistics we shared coming from your outfit, let me start off this way. We heard Karim's story. If you can unmute your device so we can hear you.
Yeah.
She says that she's a strong person and she tried to fight this on her own. I'm sure there are many people in Ghana and even across the world who may identify with Karim's situation. But when do you know this is the time to seek counseling or to talk to somebody so your mental health does not degenerate?
Okay, so good morning to our viewers and good morning to you all. The experience that we go through or the kind of things that come to us may be general across board, but the way we react to it may differ. So like someone says, she's an independent person. And so sometimes in times of distress, she has that belief or that internal resources to actually overcome it. So in her experiences, she talked about thinking about it and thinking that, no, this the end, it's over. Or at some point in time, no, I can do this, let me continue. But at any point in time where you feel overwhelmed, where you realize that you have withdrawn from people, you are not likely to function properly within your workspace, your school space, your family, then you need to talk to somebody. And of course, a professional will do you a great deal.
Why do we find these professionals? I'm sure that's on the mind of many people. When I was in high school, we were told that there is actually supposed to be a counseling department in every high school. We just read that 2 out of 10 senior high school students have contemplated suicide in the last 12 months. Who do they talk to? Where are all of you? We want to know where you are so we can reach you.
Yeah, I think that it's quite strange that the Ghana Education Service has guidance and counseling as part of its structures. But unfortunately, it looks like that unit or that facility is underutilized or it is not really working properly. One of the reasons is that it is not really staffed with qualified psychologists to deal with the students and their problems. So oftentimes you see a teacher who may be assigned with that additional responsibility of guidance and counseling. And that's what we are saying, that you need qualified, trained psychologists or professionals to handle some of these things. And that is very, very important because at the school level, the GHS, SHS, the issues that come to them are enormous. And they do not find anybody to talk to. Some of them may relate to cyberbullying. Some of them may relate to parental neglect or physical abuse, either by parents or their colleagues. Some, of course, physical abuse could also be sexual. Others to also has to do with the fact that they are being neglected or being bullied, or academic performers. So you need somebody to talk to, and it looks like the guidance and counseling units are not visible enough, or even if they are there, they are not organizing regular programs or periodic programs for these students to actually take advantage of, or even providing individual sessions, making that sessions available for people to walk in there and talk to them. So psychologists are there, and we expect that going forward, the GES would employ more of these counseling psychologists into the secondary schools so that they can deal with some of these situations.
Do we have the numbers to cater for the senior high schools in the country, and even the junior high schools? Because you also tell us about junior high school students who've contemplated suicide.
Yes, we do. We do. At least we have enough psychologists to do so. And once we realize that there is a need for us to produce more, I think there are a lot of universities available running training psychologists. They will even augment the admissions and even get more people and then train more people for the junior and senior high school. So it is something that once we set our mind to do, we can do that. And I think that I am going to ask that government should look at providing qualified guidance and counseling officers or experts, in this case, counseling psychologists, to be there.
Okay.
And then help with these junior high school, senior high school pupils.
Doc, in my research, when you speak to people who've contemplated suicide, at the point of, taking their life or attempting to take their life, they're usually at a state of hopelessness. There's that feeling of, I'm better off not here, even though they may have a loving family, a loving spouse, and even children who really love them dearly. How do I know I'm becoming suicidal? I'm asking this question because we want to help people so that they don't get to that state of hopelessness where they will just want to take their lives. I want to believe there's a process that leads to that point. How do I determine I'm becoming suicidal?
Yeah, once you are withdrawing from people, you do not wish to talk to anybody again. You think that nobody would understand what you are going through. Maybe you have picked up some signals from your insignificant others, those closer to you, and it suggests that everybody is for him or herself. Nobody is calling to check up on you. And so you don't even wish to get closer and talk to them, and you are trying to withdraw. Then that is where you have to be careful and then even and seek help or even get closer. So that is very important, because oftentimes people get to the state of helplessness when they think that nobody wants to understand them or would even understand them or wants to listen to them. And so that is it. And then you begin to now on your status, on your WhatsApp page, you start to put some suggestive words of suicidal intention there. Once you begin to think about this and start talking about issues like this, now see that is it's like a blessing, then it becomes a bit dangerous and you need to seek help. But in most cases, it is you and I who need to be observant and understand and look forward or look out for such ones, because at that stage, their minds will not even be talking to them to even look for somebody. So those of us closer to people, of course, we know that some people have lost their jobs through the banking sector cleanup, through in distress. So many things have happened, and we know people who are going through a lot of distress because they've lost their job. It is up to you and I to always be very watchful and be observing how these people are moving about and carrying out their lives, what they are posting on their pages and all that. And once we see that they are contemplating or talking about things that suggest suicide, we need to quickly talk to such ones, find out if they need help, and then if it is something that they really need help, quickly direct them to a psychologist to help them. So they have to do so, but in most cases, those of us around them, we should be observant and quickly go to their aid and direct them to a psychologist or a professional.
Thank you very much for your time this morning. Dr. Richmond Ako-Coleman is an executive director of the Ghana Psychological Association. Some 88 days to election 2020. This is your election headquarters, and spokesperson for former President John Dramani Mahama, Joyce Bawumia, says an NDC government will abolish the double track in senior high school within its first 2 years in office. The double-track policy has been criticized heavily by stakeholders in the education sector who insist it compromises quality of education at the senior high school level. The opposition party promised in its manifesto that it will abolish the system when voted into power. Speaking on Prime Morning on Joy Prime TV, Mrs. Bar Mokhtari said this will happen in 2 years.
In the first 2 years, certainly we would have rolled out a very comprehensive blueprint that enables us to totally stem. And of course, for some of the schools where infrastructure is not a challenge, where populations are not too large, why not? And certainly building more schools will mean then that we are able to even reduce numbers and encourage more children to go to school at the same time. There is a good reason why Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah left us with the school model that we had. It is a product that has brought us all here. I believe that our children deserve even all of that and more.
Corruption, the former deputy minister said a new administration will codify a set of rules on conflict of interest to prevent its occurrence.
No time faulted Suraj for doing his work. He had no issues with the work that was done. The question is whether or not everybody at the presidency was conversant with rules regarding gifts. And I told you, even I myself at the time had never averted my mind to it. But I had actually later on found out, because of the ruling from Suraj, that there was a certain policy in place. It is the reason why we are promising in our 2020 manifesto that there will now be specific guidelines for public office holders. Those guidelines will reflect clearly all of these things that most... Imagine, for example, declaration of assets. It is a matter of public policy that anybody within a certain public office situation must declare their assets. But how often do you see people doing so? And who gets punished for not doing so? You understand?
Well, it's because it's done under certain circumstances.
No, but in some circumstances, look, there is also some sort of political chicanery that goes in some of these things. Sometimes we'll turn a blind eye because maybe it's not in our interest. Other times we'll turn a blind eye because it's not something that we want to do. But I think President Mahama's commitment is that he will continue to strengthen governance. And one of the key planks of strengthening governance is that you must find ways to deal with corruption.
Let's bring you an update on the National Science and Maths Quiz, which started 2 days ago. A former contestant of the Archbishop Porter Girls' School at the 2019 National Science and Maths Quiz, Abigail Butchie, says she's hopeful an all-female school will be able to win the competition for the first time within the next 5 years. Well, she's now a student of medicine at the University of Cape Coast and says adequate preparation is key to success at the National Science and Maths Quiz. She's been interacting with Maxwell Agbagba ahead of the preliminary round of competition between Archbishop Porter Girls, Ahantaman Girls, and Bibani Senior High Technical School.
I'm a medical student here in UCC, and we are managing. It's okay. Academics is going fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're studying medicine?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me, how easy was the exams? Someone actually told me that for National Science and Maths Quiz contestants, when it comes to WASI, the final exams, it's just a walk in the park for you. It's so easy because you have the syllabus in your head. How true is that?
Well, I would say it's entirely true because you have to put in extra effort, just like any other ordinary student would. It's not that easy, but you have to try and study so that you pass. You have to study. It's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What level of the competition did you get to last year? Tell me about it.
The 1/8 stage.
Oh, the 1/8 stage.
Yeah.
You were kicked out by which schools?
By St. John's School. Yeah. Our brother schools though.
Okay.
We were seeded, but then unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but we were kicked out. Yeah.
Okay. I've been talking to a lot of people, and they think that sometimes the audience in the auditorium can actually be intimidating for you girls. What was it like on the stage, speaking with all the cameras, lights, and everything on you? What was it like? Did it affect your performance in any way? Do you think it affected the performance?
Frankly, we were actually being supported more by the audience.
Okay.
But then I think maybe the mistake was on our part. Maybe we didn't really put in much effort that we were supposed to. Yeah. But the audience, they were really supporting us.
Okay.
As for that, yeah. They were not intimidating us at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since the inception of the National Science and Maths Quiz, we've not had any girls' school winning the trophy. Do you think a girls' school, an all-female school, will be able, to win it anytime soon, this year or maybe in subsequent years?
Yeah, we can.
10 years to come or when?
Well, I can't really say, but we can. We can with extra efforts and determination. We can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, but are you confident enough to put a timeline to it?
Let me say maybe 5 years from now.
Mark Salababa speaking to a former contestant who is hopeful that an all-girls school would carry the crown or cling to the trophy in the next 5 years. But we understand that Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School, Ahantaman Girls Senior High School, and Bibiani Senior High Technical School currently contesting. So there you have it. Those are live visuals. We'll bring you updates and on all our platforms, TV, radio, online. On what comes out of that. Later today, Takwa SHS St. Mary Boys Senior High School and BR Senior High Technical School will also compete. There are more competitions. We'll bring you more here on the JoyNews channel. But coming up shortly in business, Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund justifies controversial Ejapa royalties deal as he meets traditional leaders. We've got details in a moment.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. The chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Mekuduka, has assured traditional leaders in Takwa and its environs that their interest is paramount in the Ejapa royalties deal, whilst reiterating that government can never cheat them. Mr. Mekuduka says the Ejapa deal will rather facilitate early receipt of royalties due traditional leaders and boost the local economy. There's more in the following report.
Speaking during the handing over ceremony of 2 ambulances from the Goldfields Ghana Foundation to the Municipal Health Directorate in Takwa, the chairman of the Mines Income Investment Fund, George Mekuduka, said, as the chairman of the fund, he would ensure that monies from the deal are used assiduously for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Ejapa is to develop Takwa. Ejapa is to develop Ghana. Now we can ask for what is due us. We can really account to the people of Ghana with the Ejapa. I am not from Achim, I'm a Wasa. So the speculation out there that the Ejapa is for the Achims is a fallacy. I heard the Ejapa. I heard the Minerals Income Investment. And for that matter, anything that will be accrued from this SPV will be used judiciously. Nanano support government for this prudent measure. Manganese has been dealt as well. Gold has been dealt as well. They pay royalties. They pay taxes. What did we use as a collective country for? Now it's time for us to pinpoint and collectively say yes, we've been able to use our proceeds to build this tangible projects out of our gold proceeds.
He assured the traditional leaders that their 20% royalties paid to the Mineral Development Fund still remains a priority and would rather be paid earlier under the Ejapa deal.
The 35% corporate tax that companies pay into the consolidated fund remains. The other windfall taxes they pay remain. The only thing government is in a way going to establish the SPV with is the royalties. And another your 20% that government pay to that of MDF will still be there. And government has been paying that 20%. We know out of the 20%, 50% is paid to the administrator of school lands. And however, or moreover, forwards what is due Nanano to their respective dispensations. Nanano, your money for development will never be tempted with. It will rather be given on time. It will be given on time. The Minerals Income Investment Fund has been paying this as I speak.
Now, the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Union of Ghana is calling on former President John Mahama, also flag bearer of the NDC, to sign an MOU with automobile dealers as a way of showing commitment to his campaign promise of reversing any ban on importation of salvaged vehicles. According to the Executive Secretary of the Union, Francis Opoku, just announcing the intent is not enough to convince them to influence their vote.
The Customs Amendment Law will take effect from October this year as a result of government's decision to create an automobile assembling industry in the country. After a series of engagement with government, the automobile dealers have expressed disappointment that the law has not been revised. Former President John Mahama disclosed that he will review the law to scrap the imposition of 35% duty on imported vehicles. General Secretary of the Automobile Dealers Union of Ghana, Clifford Ansu, said the dealers are confident that the move will boost their operations.
He became excited. Since last night, my phone has never rested. A lot of calls are coming in all over. So, General, how is everything? Is it going to be positive or negative? Then I told them that, in fact, we've been calling for the total scrapping of the area that we have identified as a threat to our operations. But it appears nothing has been done. Government only keep on giving us promises. Promises upon promises, which is not going to materialize today or tomorrow. So if somebody is saying that when you give me the opportunity, even though it's a manifesto promise, if you give me the opportunity, I'll do whatever that you want, that's a good news for us.
So is this something that you trust will happen?
Yes. You see, the thing is that we are getting to the election period. And all the political parties are making their promises. And when somebody says something and they say you don't trust or you don't believe it, when free SHS, issue came about before the 2016 election, people were agitating. But when President Akufo-Addo came in, it has come to stay. So when former President Mahama also says that when I come, I'll do this and that for you people, we believe that when he also comes, he can do it.
Ohenin Tiamoa is a second-hand automobile dealer and a member of the union.
We can't vote for MPP for him to just take our business away. So we will go for a JM. Only if he will do. If MPP will not withdraw, then we will go for NDC.
So it means you go for your interest.
Yes. Just I want a government that will maintain my business. That's all.
The union has, however, warned the announcement should not be a mere manifesto promise.
And that's it for Business. Sports is up next.